The appearance of Halley's comet has frightened and inspired humanity throughout the ages. In 1835 and 1910, its brilliant displays both excited the public and quickened scientific interest in comets. Although a formidable reputation precedes Comet Halley, how will its 1986 appearance stack up against the spectacular shows of the past? Not very well, unfortunately. When the comet reaches perihelion in 1986 and is at its brightest, Earth happens to be on the opposite side of the sun. Since a comet's visibility depends not only on its distance from the sun, but also on its distance from us, Halley will never become spectacular. Although Halley makes two moderately close approaches to Earth in late November 1985 and mid-April 1986, it never gets closer the 1985 to January 6 on the inbound leg of its orbit. Then again in late April as it pulls away from Earth on the outbound portion of its track. It does all the time. Well, if you want to see Halley's Comet, you'd better prepare for it. Since the comet won't be bright enough to overcome urban glare, scout around for an observing site at least 20 miles from a moderate-sized city. You'd also do well to familiarize yourself with the constellations through which Halley moves. If you live in the northern hemisphere and want the best possible view of the comet, travel as far south as you can. In addition, a pair of binoculars 7 by 35s or 7 by 50 are perfect. Comet West appeared in 1976 was much brighter than Comet. The stars are slightly streaked in this photo because the rotating Earth moved the camera. Note the tiny constellation Delphinus. the dolphin in the center, and the bright star Altair and Aquila the eagle above, right? Go outside with the all-sky map appropriate for the time of year and try to get your bearings. Don't worry about finding everything indicated on the map. Just concentrate on prominent patterns, like the great square of Pegasus or the teapot shape of Sagittarius. While you work your way around the sky, take a moment and flip to one of the horizon maps for your latitude. Can you identify some of the stars Comet Halley will be passing? Getting to know these celestial landmarks will make finding Halley a lot easier. Comet Halley's appearance changed dramatically during its visit in 1910. May 2nd, May 3rd, May 4th, May 6th, May 15th, May 23rd, May 28th, and June 3rd. Halley passes the bright planet Venus on May 1st, 1910, as seen from Paris. All of the maps in this book were designed to be used in conjunction with a flashlight or electric filtered through grocery bag paper. Quaint. Other apps have um, dark vision mode where it puts it all in red instead of white. White is all in black and red. Also, I have one of those little headlights that has a one red LED you can turn on for low light conditions. Grocery bag paper. Once you walk into the dark, your eyes begin adapting to the low light level. Within 5 minutes, your night vision will be fairly good, but full dark adaptation is 30 to 40 minutes. In order not to ruin your dark adaptation each time you need to glance at a map, tape several layers of grocery bag paper over the light. The paper transmits enough light for you to read by, but not enough to wipe out your night vision. In this dim reddish light, you'll notice that constellation lines and star names almost disappear from the map. If you need to read a name or date, then you highlight it. Bring the light closer to the map for the information you need, then pull it away again. It pays to be careful of your night vision when searching for a comet. And I really think it would behoove us all to memorize the star charts like they did in the old days. I know boat captains who can navigate by the stars. That's a valuable skill. Get good, brothers. From an ideal location on a clear moonless night, the comet will look like a diffuse gray pointed smudge hanging above the horizon. The tip of the smudge, the comet's coma, will look like a star. In January, Halley doesn't have much of a tail, but in April it may be as long as 30 degrees. A look through a telescope or binoculars will reveal the bright dot of fresh gas and dust surrounding Halley's frozen nucleus. For many people, the hunt will have been more exciting than the quarry. Now that you found it, what are you going to do with it? It says to draw it and take pictures. It goes on to describe how to draw it and take pictures of it. The most important thing to keep in mind is that no one knows what Halley will look like, how long a tail it will develop, or the kind of activity it will undergo after its encounter with the sun. Astronomers have made their best guesses about the 1986 appearance based on mathematical models and extrapolations from Halley's previous visits. Watch how much Halley moves in just a few days. Sketch your observations and compare them with these maps. Observe the comet's tail. Does it show structure? If you have a telescope, examine Halley's coma and search for areas of enhanced brightness. They could be jets erupting from the nucleus. If you have a camera with a shutter that can be held open, try taking photographs of Halley. Be sure to use fast film, 400 speed or better, and set your lens to the lowest f/number, 2.8 or lower, to take your picture. Place the camera on a steady tripod, focus the lens to infinity, attach a cable release, aim, and trip the shutter. Experiment with different exposure times. Take your first shot at 10 seconds, your next at 20 seconds, then 40, and end at 80 seconds. You can run longer if you like, but the stars will show trails due to Earth's rotation. And remember that there's more to watch than the comet itself. When Halley's meteor showers occur in late October 1995 and early May 1986, plan on spending some time lying back and counting the streaks. See chapter 3. Let's see chapter 3 for a moment. Meteor shower table to which it was referred. The Eta Aquarid, dated peaks, May 4th, hourly rate 20. Orionid, October 20th, hourly rate 25. And the Perseids are on August 13th and 50, and the Geminids on December 13th and also 50. But Halley's trail is the Quarids and the Orionids. Back to where we were. Will your counts better the showers you rate? Also, several spacecraft are flying past the comet in mid-March. This was a novel thing in 1985. Keep abreast of the information these space probes return. For most people, all this will be too much trouble to bother with. We call them NPCs. But those who do make the effort to leave the city and go out under the stars will enjoy an historic experience that unites the human race. The once-in-a-lifetime return of Halley's Comet. By seeking out this transient visitor, you'll also be introduced to the beauty and majesty of the starry sky. Yes, I have here this planisphere. And so if I put midnight in, let's say, April, today is April 5th, I'm going to put midnight on April 5th, and you hold it north, and that will be the sky. Midnight. The plastic is scary. I have one that comes apart. This is yellowed over the years. The underneath still looks pretty nice. I have a plan to use one of or all of my little star maps and make um, a skirt with the star patterns embroidered on it. I'm gonna manage it one of these days, hopefully. Aha. Star maps for Northern Hemisphere. Star maps for Southern Hemisphere. Hold the chart over your head so that the direction on the chart matches the direction you're facing. The size of a star shows how bright it is. The brighter the star on the chart, the brighter it appears in the sky. The northern one map shows how the sky looks at 1 a.m. in September, October, 11 p.m. in October, November, and 9 p.m. in November, December. The map shows how the sky looks at 4:30 a.m. in mid-March, 2:30 a.m. in mid-April, and 12:30 a.m. in mid-May. Star maps for the southern hemisphere shows how the sky looks at 1 a.m. in September, October, 11 p.m. in October, November, and 9 p.m. in November, December. Focus. And that shows how the sky looks at 4:30 a.m. in mid-March, 2:30 a.m. in mid-April, and 12:30 a.m. in mid-May. Index to maps. Time you want to observe in June and December, December 22nd, January 10th, January 10th, February, between late February and early March, mid-March, between late March and early April, mid-April, between mid-April and mid-May, between May and August 1986. The chart below shows the approximate areas covered by maps 1 and 16. Map 1 covers this whole area, and then map 16, this one down here. Let's look at those two first. This is map 1, June 1985 to January 1986, telescope and binoculars. Lost in the sun's glare for most of June, Halley will be observable only through the largest of amateur telescopes until August. Between the 16th and the 31st, when the moon is out of the way. The brightening comet can be seen with binoculars by November and with the naked eye by mid-December. So here, Gemini, Taurus, Aries, and over here by Taurus, it starts June 1st in 1985, then moves to July 1st, August 1st, September 1st, October 1st, October 15th, where it gets closer. It's getting much closer. November 1st, it's passing through Taurus. Here it's going close to Gemini and then passing through Taurus. November 7th, passes over Aldebaran. November 15th, passes near Pleiades. November 20th, it's out of Taurus and towards Aries. November 25th, it passes Aries. And then by December 1st, it's into Pisces. December 5th, December 10th, December 15th, it's on the end of Pisces. December 20th, and January 1st, 1986, it's into Aquarius. All right, now the next one is map 16. Yeah. Map 16. Virgo. So there's Virgo, there's Leo, and Corvus, and Alpha. Here the track begins at April 18th, passes Corvus April 25th, May 1st, May 15th, June 1st, June 15th, July 1st, July 15th, and August 1st. The fading comet retreats into space but remains marginally visible until mid-May. Its motion through the sky slows considerably as Earth's orbit carries us away from the comet. The combined motions of Comet and Earth cause Halley to hook toward Virgo. By August, Halley is lost in the sun's path. Let's return to the index and look at this. It is between December 22nd and January 10th, 1986. For 55 degrees north, it's map 2. For 40 degrees north, it's map 4. And for 35 degrees south, it's map 10. Between January 10th and February, 55 degrees north is map 3. 40 degrees north is map 5. And you can't see it in the south. Between late February and early March, you can't see it in the north, map 11 in the south. Mid-March, you can't see it 55 degrees north, but 40 degrees north, it's map 6, and 35 degrees south is map 12. Between late March and early April, you can't see it too far north, but 40 degrees north is map 6, and 35 degrees south is map 13. Mid-April, you can't see it 55 degrees north, 40 degrees north is map 7, 35 degrees south is map 14. Between mid-April and mid-May, map 9, map 8, map 15. And then between mid-May and August 1986, map 16. So the first we're going to look at is map 2, 4, and 10. And then we'll look at 3 and 5, and then 11, and then 6 and 12, and 13, 7 and 14, 9, 8, and 15. Two. And then, no. Map 2. And let's see, map 4. Halley enters Aquarius on the 22nd, but the light of a waxing moon hampers viewing until the 28th. Look for a bright yellow tinged star, the planet Jupiter, low in the southwest, about 1.5 hours after sunset. Halley lies above Jupiter in a small grouping of stars known as the water jar of Aquarius. Here, maybe with this. That these two charts are very similar. Just here at latitude 40 degrees north, evening twilight, and 55 degrees north, evening twilight. December 22nd to January 10th, 85 to 80. So you can see, if you look southwest, You see Capricorn and Aquarius. And if you look southwest here, you can see Pisces, Astronus, Capricorn, and Aquarius. Over here, you can see Aquila. Over here, you can see Delphinus and Pegasus. Here, you can see Delphinus, Pegasus, and Aquila. So let's take a good look at map 2. And there it is, the comet coming in December 22nd up north of Aquarius. And then by January 1st, passing through, and January 10th, slowing down. While in Capricorn, here is Jupiter, December 22nd, January 1st, and January 10th. Same thing, just a little bit more southerly. Southwest, here like December 22nd, January 1st, January 10th. Whereas Jupiter is more clearly higher in the horizon. Here's Jupiter, and there it is. And there's Comet out. Right, and then map 10. Here we are. December 22nd, 1985 to January 10th, 1986. Latitude 35 degrees south, evening twilight. In Australia on the night, South America, South Africa, New Zealand, both South and South Pacific, the Indian Ocean. Yeah, India could pretty much, like, parts of India could probably see this too. Back in '85, I had much problem with the pollution. Back in '85, South Africa and Rhodesia were still alright. I find Halley low in the west about 2 hours after sunset. A line from Fomalhaut through Scat brings you to the water jar in Aquarius and Halley's Comet. Binoculars will help. The bright star very low in the southwest is the planet Jupiter. Moonlight hampers viewing until the 29th. So there's the southwest, but that's toward the pole in the south, in the southern hemisphere. It's toward the pole. There's west. So here they can see much more of Aquarius. There's Pisces, Pegasus, Pisces, Astronus, and Goose. Aquarius, and the moon begins here, January 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th. And down here, Jupiter, January 1st. You take 4 one more time. Yeah. Pisces, Astronus, Capricorn. There's Jupiter and Capricorn. 10 is Aquarius and Pegasus. And there's Jupiter. See, looking southwest here is looking toward the equator. But looking southwest here is looking toward the pole. Is it not? Do I have that wrong? Halley appears here December 22nd. Here, January 1st, and here, January 10th. In the water jar of Aquarius. There's Jupiter and Capricorn, but you can't really see Capricorn on the map. Interesting. So that's 2, 4, and 10. And so map 3 and map 5, and then map 11. Map 3, January 5th to the 20th, 1986. As Halley plunges through Aquarius toward perihelion, it appears ever lower in the evening sky. About 2 hours after sunset, look for Halley very low in the southwest near the water jar. The waxing moon won't interfere until the 15th. This is your last chance to see the comet until April. Binoculars will help. This is latitude 55 degrees north, evening cloud. And so it's the same as map 5. 40 degrees north, evening twilight. There's the moon on the 13th. It's here in Aquarius. So, map 3, map 5. Have Jupiter there. You can't really see Jupiter in this one, but it's down here by the moon, January 20th and 25th. There's the comet. Is up here in Aquarius, 10th, 15th, January 20th, January 25th. The moon goes north. It goes up the 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th toward Pisces. This is the same as this map. You can see the moon here, January 13th, 14th, 15th toward Pisces. You can see Delphinus and the Milky Way. And the comet slowing down the water drum. Now, map 11. February 23rd to March 8th, 1986, latitude 35 degrees south, morning twilight. This is your first chance to see Halley after its encounter with the sun. The comet emerges from the sun's glare late in February, but the light of a waning moon interferes until the 9th. Halley is much brighter now than in January. Look for it low in the southeast, an hour before sunrise. So morning twilight. It's rainy. And so this is latitude 35 degrees south, South America, South Africa, probably South India, Sri Lanka, Madagascar, Australia, New Zealand, Paraguay, boats in the South Pacific. Right here's Aquila, Altair. It says facing east and southeast, Capricorn. Here is Halley, February 23rd, March 4th, 1st, and March 5th, passing through Capricorn. And the moon from Sagittarius toward Capricorn, March 6th, March 7th, and March 8th. Yeah, February to March. January. So the next one, 6, 12, and 13. Map 6. Latitude 40 degrees north. Morning twilight. March 15th to April 5th, 1986. Around March 15th, start looking for Halley low in the southeast about 2 hours before sunrise. The moon hampers viewing from the 21st to April 3rd, just as Halley's tail attains its greatest length. The comet's tail now leads the way. The planets Mars and Saturn are the brightest stars visible. So let's look around here. We've got Capricorn, Aquila, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Scorpius. South and southeast. There are trains in the map. So, April. Okay, so the moon begins up here in this corner. Moon, March 29th, passing into Scorpio. March 30th, Saturn is here in Scorpio with it. And the moon moves next to Mars. Moon, March 31st. And Mars is also over here in Sagittarius, or between Scorpio and Sagittarius. Really, it's Ophiuchus right here. What? This is just March 15th to April 5th. So let's see. Morning twilight. So we're gonna move it to, let's see, 4 a.m. 3 to 4 a.m. Here we have the star chart. And let's see, here we go, Scorpius and Terry, and there it is, Ophiuchus. There, Scorpius, Sagittarius. It's this one. Scorpius. Sagittarius. Ophiuchus. There we are. And so, Gorilla is on here. Yep, he's up here. There's Aquila. One, map 6, and then map 12. This has map 6 is for mid-March and between late March and early April, both for latitude 4 degrees north. Can't be seen 55 degrees north, both 4 degrees north. Map 6 covers mid-March to early April. March to April. So the moon tracks this way, and Halley tracks the other way. March 15th, March 25th, and April 5th. It passes beneath Sagittarius and Scorpius. March 6th. Map 13 for 35 degrees south latitude. Yeah. March 20th to April 1st, 1986. Latitude 35 degrees south, morning twilight. About an hour before dawn, look for Halley nearly overhead in the east. Plus, mark the point directly overhead. The comet now rises low in the east around midnight. The moon hampers earlier viewing. After the 25th, as Halley's tail reaches maximum length, the moon moves into the pre-dawn sky. And then Aquila, Sagittarius, Orpheus, Centaurus. These ones here are Ophiuchus, Aquila, and Hercules. So, the moon passes down March 29th towards Scorpius, or Saturn is, and Aries. Moon March 30th, March 31st, April 1st, April 2nd, down here in Sagittarius. Halley, March 20th, March 25th, April 1st. When it's tail out, it's long. And there's the plus mark, the zenith sky. Right. No. Like, this is a southern hemisphere map, and it's a northern hemisphere map of 40 degrees north. Orpheus, Sagittarius, is all there. Aquila's there. Centaurus, Aries, Libra. I see Libra. I see Crux. Serpent. Orpheus. Orpheus, Libra. And track up this way. It's toward Libra. Of course, Virgo. But Centaurus, I'm not seeing one in my northern latitude. And the next one we're looking at is map 7 and map 14. April the 5th through the 16th, 1986, latitude 40 degrees north. See table below for so 40 degrees north. April 5th to 16th, 1986. Halley now sweeps past Earth as it races from the sun, rising about 30 minutes earlier each day. Watch how its tail pivots and shrinks. Find a dark site with a low, flat southern horizon and look for the comet when it's at its highest. See table below for the right time. The moon is out of the way until the 16th. So here it is. April 5th and April 10th over here in Sagittarius. Okay, there's a little table down here. When to look for Halley. April 5th, 4:25 a.m. Here, this is at 4:25 a.m. April 10th, 2 a.m. 4th, April 10th, between 4 and then 2 a.m. You got to get up earlier and earlier to see it in the same spot. Look up. Nice to have a telescope sticking out the roof. There's an observatory away is east west. Yeah, that's west. And there's an observatory away is west of here. Last time I went to see it, it was 2020. It was closed. I'd like to go check that out again. There. April 6th, 4 a.m. All right. So this looks like April 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. It's here under Scorpio. Oh, that's Mars. I'm sorry. That's Mars up there. My mistake. Did I mistake it? Yeah. Okay, so that's Mars, April 10th, up there in Sagittarius. Mars. Move on Scorpio. And here's Saturn. There's Saturn staying right there in Scorpios. In Scorpios. And then there's Mars up there in Sagittarius. And then so down here, April 5th, Halley is in the bottom of Scorpius. At 4:25 a.m. Yeah, I was misreading this for Mars. That was terrible. So there we go. Let's edit that one out. So okay, anyway. Mars, April 10th, April 5th, April 10th up here in Sagittarius. And the comet is down here under Scorpius and Centaurus. April 5th, 10th, and 15th. So April 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th, 4:25, 4, 3:30, 3, 2:30, 2 a.m. And then after that, the 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th. 1 a.m., 1:30, 1, 12:30, 12, 11:45, 11:20, and 10:55. That's map 7. So the next one is map 14. Map 7, map 14. Latitude 35 degrees south. 1. April 1st to April 16th, 1986. The moon exits the morning sky as Halley passes into Scorpius. The comet is now at its brightest, passing overhead, plus marks the spot. A few hours before dawn. By April 10th, Halley rises in the southeast at the end of evening, twilight, and remains visible all night long. Note how its tail pivots and shrinks. So here we are. Let's get this right this time. This is Mars, April 1st, April 15th. April 7th, April 1st, April 15th. Mars, Saturn, here in Scorpio. Virgo, one of the centaurs. Let's see here. There's Halley passes April 1st, April 5th, April 10th, and April 15th. Next. Next one is map 8 and map 15 and map 9. Here's map 15, April 15th to May 15th, 1986. Look for the rapidly fading comet high in the east about 2 hours after sunset. The moon is full on the 24th, but becomes eclipsed for observers in Australia and New Zealand. The eclipse occurs before midnight for all of Australia. Check local news 4 times. It's your last chance to see Halley while it is still bright. So latitude 35 degrees south, evening twilight. The 24th. Quickly fading from it. See? Let's see here. April 15th to May 15th, 1986. The moon is full on the 24th, but becomes eclipsed for observers in Australia and New Zealand. I'll move on to April 8, latitude 40 degrees north, evening twilight. April 17th to May 15th, 1986. The moon is full on April 24th, but it won't interfere with viewing after the 25th. Moonlight is again a problem after May 13th. Now fading, Halley pulls away from the horizon. Look for it in the southeast about 1¾ hours after sunset. After mid-May, you'll have to resort to binoculars to see the comet. Latitude 4 degrees north. April 7th to May 15th. So here's the moon. Here's it in Virgo, passing Virgo this way, April 22nd, April 23rd. There's Alphard. Here to the southeast and south. Here's Halley, April 17th, April 20th, April 25th, May 1st, May 5th, May 10th, May 15th. And here's a mini map. Same thing. Virgo, Leo, and Corvus, and the and the line of the comet's passage that way. Map 9, April 21st to May 15th, 1936, latitude 55 degrees north, evening twilight. From 55 degrees north, twilight doesn't quite end before Halley sets. The moon's light washes out the fading comet and spoils the view until the 25th. It again overwhelms the comet in mid-May. Start looking for Halley low in the south about 2 hours after sunset. You'll need binoculars to find it after mid-May. So here in Virgo and Leo. Here we go. The moon begins April 20th, April 21st, April 22nd, April 23rd. I'll go up Corvus. Let's see. South. Let's see. April 21st. Halley is there. April 25th. May 1st. May 5th. May 10th. May 15th. Sunday. Wow. Now, let's see. And then map 16 was the last one. Okay, so we looked at all of these. There's map 16 again. And it just goes out into space. Can y'all please be quiet? Chapter 5. I know. Can you tell Daddy to be quiet too? Chapter 5. Visiting the Comet. We'll pick this up next time. I'm being interrupted.